8 p.m. I just want to briefly go over something, specifically what I referenced in my video, where the entity that is unfortunately, it's not unfortunate because it's justice. I find it unfortunate. I do not rejoice when people are destroying their own lives and the lives of others. I do not rejoice when I see people that are subdued by the spirit of Satan, which only serves to destroy that person. Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That is all that is going to result from that. And this is the result of engaging in what is serving Satan. This is demonic activity. This is the works of Satan, and it's occurring. And it's manifesting itself through what is public corruption. This is the betrayal of one's own government. I'm a United States American citizen. All right. I am a recipient, a proud and knowledgeable recipient of the rights embodied within the Constitution. This does not bring me joy, okay, to expose this and to witness what the precipitating harms from engaging in this sort of conduct against an innocent person. But justice requires that you answer for what has been done, what this government is not only doing to me, and I'm exposing it and serving for an example as to how to prosecute it, how you can also be made aware of it, okay? But it's serving for what is, it is unfortunate in that regard, but it is providence, okay? And it is the Lord Jesus, it's his will that darkness no longer hide, that it is to be made known in the light of day. And as I like to joke around and say, under the entity's light source, okay, their own criminal conduct under the fake sun is clearly seen, okay? I referenced in this video which is captured at 1:28 p.m. and you might not get that humor because I've been documenting the state for so long. That might just be my own little nerdy joke there, so you can disregard it. Anyway, the light source is over me at 1:28 p.m. and I'm going to go over that, but what I specifically reference is that I'm standing at the same position where I was standing this on the morning of, that was March 19, 2024, at the same property. That's exactly what I used as an example this morning, where I'm at the DMV, and at the same exact time, the sun is not only is it not over the DMV in Glendale, it's not going to be over my head it's directly over me at the DMV. It's very exclusive with regard to stalking with light. Demons are stalking in your path, that is, group stalking you in the engineered environment, meaning engineered light is all over everything. It's not sunlight. The light source remains over that targeted individual. It's not the sun. Okay, engineered light's moving all across surfaces while those demons that are group stalking you are crossing your path. That's not sunlight ricocheting off of the cars or onto the asphalt, rising across the sidewalks while you're walking down the street, ricocheting into your vehicle or whatever building you're inside of, appearing above your head on my ceilings as you've seen, all over my walls. None of that is sunlight. Demons are group stalking you in an unnatural environment. It is, as I have referred to it, the specific environment. It is entirely distinct from a natural environment. So this is no condemnation, nor can any sane person condemn for or say anything about what is driving down the street. That's not the point. All right. And any reasonable onlooker is not claiming that. Okay. If you hear someone stating that, you're dealing with a spirit. Okay. A hostile spirit that has a problem with being exposed for what it is knowledgeable of and what it is engaging in. I have clearly shown the pattern of conduct is that which is occurring in an unnatural environment. It is the presence in that unnatural environment. It is the activity that's engaged in. You're not driving a car in the specific environment on the road. You're crossing path amongst engineered light. All right. While during the day, a light source is remaining over that target individual that you're group stalking. While engineered light is swiping all across surfaces while you want to appear as though you're just driving a car. No, that's not what's happening. And that's nothing that the P.O.C. suggested. And never have I stated that. All right. And any, again, objective onlooker that's actually ignorant about what's going on and is observing what I'm talking about, you're not even going to contend that. I'm speaking to those that are not demon possessed, that are not group stalking in the United States, that do not serve and bow down to Satan, who, by the way, is a created, defeated spirit. And everybody serving him is equally defeated in this criminalistic endeavor to engage in group stalking in California. Every single last one of them are defeated. That does not bring me joy, but at the same time, this is serving for the benefit of the public. Okay, those who belong, the children of God, those who reference the Lord Jesus Christ. Satan is engaged in a real-time agenda, and he is targeting the children of God. And so this is a matter of persecution. Now, greater context. Okay, so I am I am a legal worksmith, if you will. I know law. I'm practiced, and my skill set is in the law. And so this is matching at an intersection, the ability to criminalize what the government is doing. The government doesn't have the right to, you're necessarily stalking. To maintain presence around me in a specific environment, you're stalking. To follow me around and remain around, that's clinically referred to, that's a crime. And not only that, it's a crime that is literally antithetical to what law enforcement agencies are supposed to represent, what they stand for. It's not just what they do. They have a symbol, especially in this country. Now, this is the shameful position that those who are serving Satan are brought down to. Now, I'm only referencing the demonic because this is the core. This is the reason as to why. I'm not only showing you what is going on, I'm telling you why it's going on. And the why is even established through the evidence of the crime. Okay, you're looking at that stalking conduct, you're looking at that engineered light. The engineered light is a criminal act. They're group stalking in the specific environment, and this engineered light is instrumental, it's core, it is central to what is group stalking. And that's only underway by a bunch of demons. These demons are in the government. The government doesn't have a right to stalk you. All right, and nor is there is no created legal foundation under any circumstances that group stalking with the people is ever. There is no argument where you can face inevitable defeat. Okay, no one with a straight face is going to say, "Oh, we had a warrant to investigate Erica." No, you did not. Or we weren't stalking Erica Lorraine Spencer. We were engaging in our routine, engaged in an ongoing, incessant public nuisance to the demise of any and everyone. It's just that it had an inordinate amount of an affect and a nuisance and terrorism and harassment that Erica Spencer happened to experience because she's heavily, under the roof of the building that we're flying over and flying around and doing so 24 hours a day. You can state that because in this country we do have a constitution, and the government that's not respecting that is going to be prosecuted under it. But no one with a straight face and no federal government is actually an ignoramus to that degree. And you do not have a defense for this. And it requires the P.O.C. in order to establish that and rule out every asinine failure at trying to, in any way, there is no basis for ever making legitimate what is outright criminal conduct and lawlessness practiced by the government itself. And it's a shame. Okay. So I say all that to say the entity is engaging in what is demonic, and it is also criminal. And the fact that it is demonic and it's the government that's practicing demonic activity, that shall be a crime also, relevant to what is prosecution for terrorism. Now, I stated in this video, which was captured at 1:28 p.m., I'm standing at the same exact location at 8:47 in the morning, and where you're looking at what is outright terrorism. The people of the state are they're under a delusion. If you think that you're going to continue to openly engage in terrorizing someone, and they're so psychotic that they will continue to do so until the federal judge that grants me the justice that I deserve puts them all in federal prison. They're going to continue to do it until the day they're put in the cages that they belong in. They're going to continue to do that. And it's also speaking to what is necessary as a matter of public policy. And putting, again, the federal government is now on alert because you're aware of what's going on around the country. And there are greater implications with regard to what's going on around the world. Okay, Satan is not just limited and focused on the United States. Contrary to what we believe and how we act, the U.S. is not the center of the universe. Okay, but what you will see through the specific environment, the target individual is the center of the universe amongst the demon possessed. All right. And that is clearly in opposition to the operation of any natural environment. And so not only did I juxtapose this on this day in 2022, I am remaining at the Ovid Family Community Library at this time, and I capture documentation to that end. And that's the substance of my documentation as I'm capturing on podcasts and video and images for a prolonged period of time in order to prepare for what is a prosecution of a whole government. Okay. And I had that in mind from the outset. This is documentation at this point showing what is the mental illness, the necessarily psychopathic personality defect of those that know that they've been exposed, because you're not ignorantly group stalking. You are knowingly group stalking because you know every picture and video that I'm taking, what person and what people in their right mind would engage in this level of exposed terrorism. This is putting American citizens on alert. Okay, this is in every way showing what is an intent to engage in warfare against American citizens who, by the way, even intend to enforce your rights. And this is a government that's engaging in that warfare. Okay, that's just to note. At 1:28 p.m., the sun is never going to be in the same exact location, which again, upon documentation, is what is required in order to capture this sort of phenomenon. Okay, so this is what I captured at the same property. I'm at the same property outside of this window. That's exactly where I'm standing right here at the top. I'm standing at the same location. You can see the side of the little bushels right here. So where this is, I'm standing on the opposite side of the benches over there. That's where I'm at. This is building 1810. You can see where I'm tapping on the screen. At the top, building 1810 is to the right. The benches are right here to the left. And you'll see that because I'm going to turn around on the video camera. But I'm literally standing at the same location at 8:47 in the morning. This is relevant to not only because whether it's daylight savings time or not. And this is what I mean with regard to daylight savings time doesn't even matter. Not only because it's not even the natural environment. This is a whole illusion that we, ignorant, you're just living your life and minding your business. And if you know the Lord Jesus Christ, you're just serving the Lord as you're living day to day, whatever it is that he's called you to do. And you have what is a whole environment that's surrounding you for purposes of what is psychotic group stalking, which is demonic activity. Okay. And the entity is doing so. Daylight savings time doesn't matter because I'm at the same exact location at two different times. This is 8:47 and up here is 1:38 in the afternoon. No, the sun is not remaining stationary over one location all day long. And you also know that. That's the common sense, number one. Number two, you also know that because that's not even what's happening here. I left and went to the DMV today at 8:47 in the morning. That's why I use this video. I'm at 1333 Glen Oaks in Glendale. All right. And I also documented the fact that I'm nowhere near Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles on this day in 2022. I'm at the Ovid Family Community Library at this time. All right. So there are multiple angles of analyzing and we all come to the same conclusion, and it is inevitable. And it is evidence of not only stalking on its face, it's a malicious stalking, which is what group stalking is. This is a stalking system that seeks to hide in plain sight. So you're looking at somebody that's just walking by. I'm just delivering the mail. I'm the neighborhood USPS guy or gal. No, they're stalking you in your face. And you recognize that through the environment. And you also recognize it while that demon operating that USPS vehicle has engineered a light moving all across the black ashy asphalt, the sidewalk, and the buildings that they're driving by. All right, that's no ordinary conduct, and there's nothing normal or natural about the environment. Now, what you're also, the pattern within the pattern is while the demons are monitoring this documentation and listening to the truth that I speak about them in their psychotic criminal system, they engage in what is self-destructive conduct, which should trouble everyone that is witnessing this. They engage in even more. They sit around and wait for a moment to engage in what are foolish and self-destructive. And why is it self-destructive? Because a federal judge is going to prosecute them based on that. That's why. What are you even accomplishing? This is what I mean with regard to the public safety concern. So this is the same location, and I just want you to see where I am at 8:47 in the morning. Documenting a group stalker who lives at the property. He's going to federal prison, a resident of UCAM of 1808, apartment number 2. This is a demon. This demon is beating on the wall inside of the laundry room, which is why I go out and I politely address him and I ask him, while this demon doesn't speak English, let me be clear. All right, the demon possessed, we don't have to speak the same language. That demon knows exactly what I'm saying, okay? That's why he's engaging in what is not just a coincidence. They're not coincidentally engaging in the P.O.C., but yet we're different races, different ages, don't even speak the same language. This is letting you know these superficial bases upon which we separate ourselves. It's superficial. It doesn't matter. It's just a distraction. That's not actually what separates us. All right, there are those that are in darkness and they are controlled. Okay, meaning control insofar as not that you don't have an ability to say, oh, it's not me. You can't prosecute me, federal judge, because I'm demon possessed. I don't know. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, you are given over to darkness. And yes, you have a demonic, you might have more than one, but you have a demonic spirit on you. And in other words, Satan owns you. You are a servant. You are in bondage. You're in utter darkness and outside of deliverance, which can only be provided by the true and living God, the Lord Jesus Christ. There is no hope. And you have a whole population, an entire population. I've been capturing the P.O.C. for years. Okay, I've been documenting thousands of people. And there has never been an exception to this criminal system. Not one. Not one exception. The only exception is the fact that I am the one that's being targeted everywhere I go 24/7. That speaks volumes about what's going on in the state of California. It speaks volumes with regard to the implications, informing you about what's going on around you and what's going on around in this country. And for such a time as this, the Lord Jesus is exposing it. Okay? Many people will not wake up until they are facing bars in a federal penitentiary. And that's just the honest truth. They're not going to wake up and choose different until they are stripped of everything that enables them, empowers them to threaten the public and all those, for example, any minor children that they're in custody. When they lose everything, perhaps then they'll wake up. Okay, but this is what the entity engages in, and this is 847 on the bottom. This is where I'm standing at. Literally, this is the same location right here. This is the same location at the top. I'm at the same place. This is the same place. You can see the gate. This is where I'm standing. I'm walking toward the laundry room, and the light source is right over me. You can see the shadow. This has nothing to do with the sun. The entity is indeed group stalking in concert with the people. That's the significance of this demon possessed, which is also legally referred to as a third party. We're not going to be in federal court talking about demons and ghouls and angels. No. The entity is going to be prosecuted with hard facts and tangible evidence that everyone, and no one can disregard, and that everyone can look at and we can analyze together. Okay? I'm giving you ongoing context with regard to what is the spiritual reality. Okay? What is the wake-up call that people in this country need to pay attention to? Because unfortunately, there is a lot of darkness, and it manifests itself in what is corruption and abuse. And there are people that are suffering, and they're sitting around kidnapped right now. They're kidnapped right now. There are people who've lost their lives already, lives having been taken, or they even tragically may have even taken their lives. And you see the animalistic behavior that the entity engages in. That's reasonably foreseeable to result when you're tormenting and terrorizing someone like that. That's the purpose, by the way, of engaging in what is state terrorism. That's what this is, state terrorism. That's a purpose. A government has no legitimate business stalking you, monitoring you, seeking to terrorize you, seeking to torment you in your entire existence. Because group stalking is 24/8. 25/8, that's how they say. That's what group stalking is. So I'm at the same location on the bottom.
Good morning. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hi. Is everything okay? Was that you in the laundry room? Okay, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Stop hitting the walls and slamming the machines. Be quiet when you're in the laundry room. You're really loud.
I don't do that.
I need you to be quiet when you're in the laundry room. You're slamming the machines. Don't slam the machines. And please don't beat on the wall. Is everything okay? Oh, okay. That's fine. Thank you. Have a good day. You're fine. Bye.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to show you? Yeah, so let's go. This is P.O.C.
No. Sir.
Oh, yeah, wrong key. I have it. It's okay. I have it. Yeah, that's a possible light up here on the roof. Excuse me, on the wall. Yeah, you're beating on the wall right here.
Yeah.
You're beating on the wall. Is there a reason why? Don't do that.
Okay.
Do me a favor. Don't do that. Okay, you quietly close the machines, please. Okay? Thank you. That's fine. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. All right, this is P.O.C. and this is why I posted this. Again, these are
The loud noise in relevant position is how the people of the state are group stalking, engaging in the elements of monitoring. You're going to understand any differences in language or races or physical handicap or any claim mental it's legally irrelevant. You're looking at the elements of monitoring.
third parties who are monitoring and amplified audible activity while they are stalking in the path with the placement of what is engineered light. They are monitoring in the laundry room. That's absolutely impossible light that's appearing up here. And so I just want you to see that. This is a third-party group stalking. There is no obstruction with regard to the ability to understand. You're dealing with what is demon possession. You're looking at the same exact demonic environment. This demon-possessed third-party group stalker is in a specific environment and engaging in the same exact behavioral pattern. Do not be deceived by the third party that, I don't understand. They do understand, and they also recognize what they're doing and where they're doing it. You're looking at the same simultaneity of behavior. And by the way, when you're dealing with what is the demonic is not in any way hindered by what are linguistics, like you and I, well, excuse me, because I don't know who's watching this, like normal people, we may speak the same language, but when you're dealing with that which is spiritual, it supersedes that. It's not limited, it's not based on whatever language you speak. So I just want to make sure I document that. Hi, how can I help you? Everything okay? You just want to cross path again? Huh? Okay. All right. This is P.O.C. I want you to see the light source.
All right, the light source, this is 8:47 in the morning. I want you to take a second look. I'm standing at the same location. And
It's UPS,
UPS.
the same demon you already saw him group stalking engineered light, ricocheting off the mailboxes on the asphalt, while the light source is over at 11 in the morning over building 1816, while I'm standing on the third floor. The light source is directly over me, coming and engaging in what is terrorism. That's concerted conduct, not delivery of a package. In concert with LAPD, he's going to federal prison. That's light activity on a commercial vehicle, and it's also federal stalking. He's going to federal prison. And engaging in what is an impermissible threat, coming back to engage in more. And let me show you the light source. LAPD is already a heavily documented group stalking the people that are coming onto the grounds, acting with them. Prison, P.O.C. Coming onto the grounds, light activity, while the entity is stalking in a helicopter. Everybody here is engaging in that. He comes onto the grounds engaging in that. License plate 45135J3, P.O.C. By the way, the demon-possessed are black. These black third-party group stalking minions are acting in concert with corrupt law enforcement agencies, and they're the same ones that get on the news talking about Black Lives Matter. All right, I want to be clear, this is a black person targeting another black person. We are not tied together by race. We are separated by those who are in darkness and those who are not. They're acting together. He's going to federal prison. Activity creation.
I'm standing at the same location. You can see the benches. The light source is moving as I move. And
let me be clear, this is where the light source is at 8:47 in the morning. As I showed you this morning, I'm standing right here.
Yeah.
And
I'm standing
light source is right over me.
You can see I'm standing at the same benches, and the light source is over my head. And just so that you can be clear, this is 8:47 and 20 minutes. So at the top, which is the video I just captured, while the LAPD and the people of the state, including the United States Postal Service, including this African American, that's documentation of more than one third party. UPS is a third party representing the people. The people provide their companies, the workforces, all means of state terrorism in concert with the government. They're not ignorantly having a workforce that's facilitating and acting in sync with the state that's engaged in terrorism. That's not a coincidence. That is clinically referred to as a pattern, and it's a massive pattern, including the fact that the state is separate from this demon operating this commercial vehicle, crossing paths with engineered light, which I've already documented, and that's what I'm speaking to in this video. This same exact third party coming onto the grounds at this same property at 11 in the morning, and the light source is still over my head at this same exact property. And I also juxtapose that with on this day in 2022, which is relevant to the same exact analysis, time of year analysis down to time of day. The light source, which is not possibly the sun, it's over my head in its zenith at Walmart at 1540 Foothill in Upland, California, and also over my head while group stalker UPS and its third-party group stalking employee coming onto the grounds, acting in sync with the state with engineered light. That is directed light ricocheting off of the vehicle, is appearing in front of the vehicle, bouncing off of the mailboxes and moving all across the black. None of that is sunlight. That's the same pattern of conduct. And the pattern of conduct is 100% demonic. Now, the people's demonstration of demon possession, it's the admission of a group stalker. And there's the evidence of your state system, by the way. In addition to what is the specific environment, the sun is never over anybody in Upland. It's not over the Ovid Family Community Library, which is where I'm at today in 2022. The sun is also not going to be at the same property from 8:47 until what is 1:38 p.m., 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Non-movement, not just at the same property, but I'm standing at the same position at the same property. This is the same thing you're looking at day in and day out when I stay inside of my apartment and the sun is rising in alignment to my living room window and setting in alignment to my bedroom window. Going through the monitoring documentation, which the demon possessed are doing, the government that's monitoring me, that is demon possessed, that is synonymous with what is highly malicious, is monitoring the documentation. And so you're talking about what is now covering up the lights for the first half of the day. Oh, but not when I leave the property and go to the DMV. Okay, not when I do that. The entity is aware of what's being documented. Covering up the light source is no deviation from what remains a scientific impossibility on day one. It doesn't change on day 27 because you've been covering up the light source after I captured on day 1. So day 2 through day 26, you cover up the light source in the morning. And you still have it setting in alignment to me, which is what I'm documenting on an ongoing basis. In addition to that, beyond just documenting the state, which again, what I've captured at Alvarado Gardens is enough to prosecute the whole state of California. There's a whole body of evidence that precedes my relocation to Los Angeles, and it demonstrates that there is no natural environment that would ever include the sun being over Los Angeles at any time of day. Period. Because it remained over me for the duration of every day that I documented from 2018 to 2022. In addition to that, prosecuting the state of California because the sun's not going to remain over you for the duration of the day, like I documented from 2018 to 2022. I'm showing you the pattern of conduct, and that is your system. That's the whole state system. So this is where I'm standing at the same exact location. This is what I'm referencing in this video.
To the laundry room, you can see the light source through the window. The light source is still over me. I'm in front of the same laundry room.
That's exactly where I'm at.
All right, and through this wall, there's nothing here that would be caused for a beat, but I'm in my office and you're hearing.
So what you are aware of is the entity is doing nothing other than feigning a natural environment. And so big picture analysis, you're talking about, it's not sunlight. You've seen the directed light occurring, for example, inside of my office. It has nothing to do with the placement of the light source that's supposed to provide you with the illusion of, oh, that's the sun and that's the sunlight. So what about when you see engineered light on my ceiling and the light source is outside of the living room window? What about when the light source is directly over my apartment building? You can't see it out the window, but you're seeing light appearing on my walls and on my ceiling and inside in the depths of my office. When the sun is ricocheting off of buildings and in the depths of a staircase where there's no sunlight ever reaching, I'm letting you know all that's occurring is the demonic is very real. Okay, demonic activity is very real. And contrary to what you are conditioned to accept, and I get it, no one, and let me be clear, I didn't wake up with this either. This happened to me. And when it happened to me, I became aware of it and I started prosecuting it. Okay, it is not impossible. I recognize the demonic methods employed, and I also happen to have the ability to practice law. So, I mean, it's just the intersection, like I said, of a legal skill set and the ability to recognize the demonic. And so this is inevitable justice where, you know, evil, great evil is being practiced by government, and it is convinced. It's been so drunk with power. It has done this many times before, and it's so diluted. You're witnessing what is showing a mental illness more akin to psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissistic, if you will. And you don't have to have a degree in psychology to recognize that. No sane person, no normal person would ever be group stalking, but no sane person in the face of everybody knows what's not good for your will. If you love your kids, if you care anything about them, why? And that's not suggesting that you're innocent. The P.O.C. is already established. You're under the light source. You're stalking with the state engineered light. The sun is not remaining at one location at the same property all day long. So you're not getting out of that. You don't look innocent. If anyone cared any iota about your children, you would never include them in the criminal system. I can't sympathize with that. This does not bring me satisfaction or joy to see this. It's really depraved and it's very disturbing and it's very sick. Okay, but this is the reality of what the people of the state are doing. And this is a highlighted, a very highly detailed method of showing you what UPS, which represents the people of the state, you can fill in the blank with any company you want. Yes, Walmart is group stalking. Walmart is a group stalker. They're terrorists. They're monitoring American citizens. They act in sync with the corrupt government that likes to use helicopters to terrorize you. All right, while they're working at that venue, while they're coming, the people of the state are working there. The people of the state are going there, driving there, shopping there. They're all acting in sync. And if you picture in your mind, these are venues where you are understanding what is the greater context of what is a massive state system. Starbucks, Walmart, McDonald's, fill in your grocery store, wherever it is that you go. The system is underway. This is, if you can just speak about thousands and thousands of people, this is the public. They don't all wake up and have a meeting about let's all go to the grocery store, then no, you're talking about people that are just coming from all manner of directions, speaking all different language, different races, going to wherever they're going. Oh, but they all meet there and they're all group stalking together. They're all group stalking together. You don't have a coincidence of the elements of monitoring. That's impossible. It's impossible to have that ongoing coincidence of the maintenance of that specific environment. It's impossible that I have the ability to capture the specific environment when I'm at these public venues. It's showing you what is, as disheartening as it is, as inconceivable as it is. This is why it requires evidence, because you will not, for the one that I'm advocating, those that I'm advocating on behalf of, you cannot dismiss, you cannot disregard this evidence. You cannot. Justice requires, and this is providing evidence that no one can dismiss. You cannot reasonably dismiss it. You cannot reasonably disregard it. To do so, that's a whole other type of issue, okay? And so I'm not even going to address it. There's other issues there. In a court of law, we do not disregard evidence. You don't disregard valid evidence. That's not how the law works. That's not how logic works. And that's not how a reasonable and authentic discourse regarding something that you may not be familiar with. That's not how that works. Okay, so anyway, this is the video that I was speaking to. In this video, the entity is heavily stalking in helicopter, and that's what I mean when I'm stating that the state is literally telling on the people. And while the people engage in such lawlessness, such viciousness, to come back and engage in this, and for what? Because they're hostile and they engage. There's no, you're not retaliating. You're not winning anything. You're winning time in federal prison. You're winning loss of custody of your minor children, which you clearly do not care about, while you employ them in what is entirely disturbing. You're abusing them while you do that. It's sick. And then your secrets are exposed and you still do it. You're not in any way showing any sort of humanity. That's not normal. This is putting the rest of the country on alert. Okay, this is regarding what is warfare by what are those who walk in darkness. Okay, it is currently, again, 3:19 p.m. The entity is maintaining a light source over me as I documented. Walking back to my apartment, and I suppose I will include this. 2:41 p.m. It's currently 3:19 p.m. So the entity is sounding helicopter while I'm documenting the people of the state. The reason why I document it, because that's a pattern within the pattern. Not only are you group stalking, but then the entity provides what is evidence of what is knowledge pursuant to that pattern. You know exactly what's being documented, and you're also doing so and you're failing. You're not protecting anybody. You're jumping right into time in federal prison. That's exactly what justice requires. That's what you want, then that's what you will get. Okay, the state is going to be federally prosecuted. The state gets a federal prison immediately. The people of the state get federal prison when they're providing intolerable levels of facilitation. Any state actor, any police officer, sheriff's department deputy engaging in group stalking, you're going straight to federal prison, period. The government has no business engaging in it, and there will be no toleration. And I've documented a large amount of people representing the government, not just group stalking, but kidnapping and facilitating group stalking during the course of an ongoing kidnapping. You have a lot of people that are going to federal prison. All right. So anyway, it's currently 3:20 p.m. on Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. And this is P.O.C.